Okay, this is M-Dog, and we're going to take a look today at Diablo 3 Reborn. It's not really reborn, just resurrected. It's not really resurrected, it's just patched, okay? It's Diablo 3 patched, the big patch that comes out before the expansion. Look, Blizzard has learned from World of Warcraft. And maybe they've done this in other games too, but I'm familiar with it in WoW. Before the big expansion comes out, drop the big patch. Gets everyone excited, gives them plenty of time to get their credit cards out and pre-order the new expansion. Okay, Blizzard is up to their old tricks, and boy do we love it. Diablo 3, they've breathed new life into Diablo 3. So let's take a little bit of a look here at what's going on new, and then I'll just show you a little bit of gameplay, and we'll wrap this up. But I did not want to go today without at least talking a little bit about the newest patch for Diablo 3. First of all, you see over here on the left side of this game settings screen, we now have a new thing that we can choose called Adventure Mode, and enable different types of gameplay such as bounties and Nephilim rifts. If you're not familiar with what Adventure Mode is going to be like, I suggest you take a look at some of the coverage of Reaper of Souls expansion coming out next month in March. Now, this looks very exciting to me. It looks like it's going to add some replayability, get you off of the campaign, playing the same content over and over. Adventure mode looks really cool. Right now, the only thing we can select is campaign mode because we don't have the expansion yet, okay? Now, right here in the middle is where you select what quest you're on. Now, obviously, this will change once you hit adventure mode and the expansion's out, and you'll be setting up what kind of adventure mode you want to participate in. So for now, this is just whatever act you choose to play. I mean, if you've gone through all of them, then you can kind of select what act you play on. Now, another big change is the difficulty change, okay? So right now we have it on Expert, and this is going to say 100% extra gold bonus, so twice as much gold, twice as much XP, and bounties award double blood shards. So let's go ahead and look at this. You can change it from normal all the way to torment. Now, one interesting thing is, if you put it on torment, and you see at torment level you get 300%, bounties, double blood shards, imperial gems, 61 and higher monsters, legendary items available at 70, additional gold, XP, legendary drops rate per slider tick. So slider tick is right down here. You can go all the way to torment 6. So even though you've got 5 difficulty levels here, torment actually has another slider that allows 6 levels of torment. So technically we've got 10 levels of difficulty. Now for where I am, I didn't play a whole lot past finishing all the content and getting into hell. I think I was in hell mode. So based on reading the description of the difficulty, I've decided, okay, I'm probably about right for Expert. Now I played in Expert a little bit cooperatively with Artrex, and it's possibly not quite difficult enough, although I suspect that Master would be maybe a little too difficult, at least to where my gear was when I started. But gear and loot is really the topic of the day with this expansion. So we'll keep it on Expert for now. We're going to go resume game, and there's our wizard right here. And we're going to jump into game so I can show you a few things. So we played for maybe an hour or so last night. Now, here is my inventory, and there are some things that look different. We can go back to Paragon in just a minute, but first let's just look at gear. I got a set piece from the end of Act 1. The Skeleton King dropped a set piece for me. It's not that great in terms of not having intellect on it, so for my wizard, but it's got some other things on it that are really interesting. So for now, we're wearing it. I would say, I think I have 1 ring left from before the patch, and I think that's about it. I think everything else, every other piece of my gear, I believe, has been replaced. And if you see the stats over here, we've got damage, toughness, and healing. And so my damage has gone up a good bit, but the big thing is my toughness and healing have gone up. I'm not near as much of a glass cannon as I was before the expansion dropped. Main stats over here, we've got strength and dexterity, but for me, intelligence and vitality, those are continuing to go up. Okay, let's look at Paragon real quick. So when you get a Paragon point, which if you don't know, once you hit level 60, you start leveling your Paragon. They have sped up the process of leveling. I was Paragon 3, I believe, 2 or 3 when the expansion dropped last night. We played for a little while. I'm already up to Paragon 9. So that leveling process on Paragon has greatly increased. Every time you hit one, you'll get a point in one of these sections. So the first point you might be in getting core. The second point will be in offense. It just goes one at a time. So Paragon 9, I've got 9 points. Core, I've been putting them in my main stat, intelligence, but I could have also chosen vitality, movement speed, or maximum arcane power. In fact, let's go ahead and reset this. So I have reset my core points here so I can show you what it looks like. Basically, every time I put a point in intelligence, it's getting +5. Now, movement speed and arcane power, like many of the stats across these tabs here, have a maximum of 50 that you can put in them. So movement speed, you're getting 0.5% increase every time. You can only do that 50 times. You're going to be pretty fast at that point anyway. But I've been putting it in intelligence, so I spend all 3. Now in offense, I've only got 2 points that I've spent. I've put them in critical hit chance. And in defense, 2 points, I've put them in resist all. As we get into more difficult content, I'm thinking that resistance is going to be key. At least it was before the patch, we'll see. And then I've put 2 points in life on hit. So I'm getting 16.5 life on hit per point. So those are the Paragon levels. They also, what's interesting is Paragon points go across account. So if I logged into, let's say I had a level 20 Barbarian. Well, right now, I would get 9 Paragon points to go ahead and put on my Barbarian, increasing his stats, making leveling and alt a little bit easier, and also making it where you can increase the difficulty, because those same difficulty settings apply no matter what act you're on, what level you are. So I might have 9 Paragon points to put on my warrior, and because of that, I'll say, okay, I'm good. I'm going to play expert level on my level 20 warrior, and I should be okay. Okay, so let's go to let's go to
more gold out there? Bring a thief with you next time.
Cemetery of the Forsaken. And this is content we've already done last night when we were playing. I'm not going to move forward into Act 2 yet. Artrex and I probably will actually be streaming that today on MDog Gaming through Twitch. But what I wanted to show you was just a little bit of combat here. Now, first of all, oh, we just hit a, okay. Things just got real here, which is fun, but I need to pay attention. Now, one thing I have not done is really gone in and looked at all of the wizard abilities. See what's new, see what I'm not using that maybe I could or should. But a lot of abilities have changed. You'll see that's a fire dragon I'm using, which before the patch I was still using the poison dragon, I believe. And besides that, I just really haven't gone in and checked out, like, okay, maybe there's a better group of abilities that I should be using here, which I'll probably do that today during our stream. So let's see if we can get through this so you can see an example of the gear that's dropping here. Hopefully it will be something cool, since this is the one chance we have of seeing something. Okay, so a yellow drop. I think we've cleared out everything now. So one interesting thing with Loot 2.0, which is kind of what they're calling this new system of loot, is yellows are now kind of like the old blues. You're getting a lot of yellows. And let me show you one thing down here real quick. This Nephilim Glory, that globe I picked up, if you saw that, it gave me some Nephilim Glory, which only has 25 seconds left. You move faster and unleash terrible blasts of energy on your enemies. Health and power globes will magnify the intensity of this effect and extend the duration. So you can actually, if you get rolling and you're in one of those areas where there's a lot of enemies, you can get several of those and they'll continue to extend this sort of buff that you get. Alright, so let's pick up this Dominion austerity. You can still hit control and take a look at it before you pick it up. But this is a smart loot system. Now, you might occasionally, let's say as my wizard, I might occasionally get something that's for a barbarian or something else. But 9 times out of 10, or 9.5 times out of 10, what I get is at least reasonably spec'd for my class. So what did we get on this first attempt? We got a Crusader only gear. So unfortunately, it's not going to play with. It's not going to be nice. The smart loot system let us down. But honestly, almost every time I've been getting gear for wizards, and that's how I've replaced in just a short amount of playtime almost everything that I'm wearing. But it is interesting to look. Crusader, of course, is the new class that won't be available until the expansion drops. And you see that this doesn't tell us a lot. It tells us about one Crusader ability, Falling Sword. It increases that damage. But other than that, it doesn't even tell us kind of a main stat or anything that a Crusader might be going for. But those are a pretty decent pair of shoulders. Just depends on, as a Crusader, what else you have. So that's what that's what things look like now in Diablo 3. I really don't know. We can look at the community tab. I'm part of a clan now. Clans are new, and this shows news from the clan. This will show your roster. There's some settings. It's basically like what you would think of when you think of some of the guild settings that you can do in a lot of MMOs, including Blizzard's MMO, WoW. And that's, in a lot of ways, what's going on with the clan thing. I do like the clan system in the sense that now the people you play with, you can be part of a group, and if nothing else, it makes communication so much easier. You have a clan chat tab now, which is pretty cool. Stash is still the same. These are some other gear pieces that I've picked up. I've got this two-handed mace that I was using that actually has a lot of damage on it, and so I haven't gotten rid of it yet, but it is two-handed. I've gone to one-handed. If I wanted to, instead of the offhand thing that I'm using. Now let's see here. I guess we can't. Let's go back out here and see if it'll show. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so you can hit Z now to zoom in. I honestly don't know if that was a feature available or not before, but it is something you can do now where you can see just how poorly your current gear match together. And if anything, this is encouraging you to go buy dye and change the color of some of your gear so you don't look quite as ridiculous as my wizard does right now. But I do like some of this new gear and the way it looks. For some reason, a lot of the weapons, at least that I've been seeing, have a tremendous amount of blood dropping off of them. But you see on the offhand here, I've got this rare, brilliant heirloom, which looks like a skull that has some blue graphical sparkle going on it. So I think overall, the changes in this patch definitely have breathed new life. To be able to go out again and feel like I'm going to get gear for my character, and I don't even have to go to the auction house to do that. In fact, the auction house is gone. So it's very cool, I think, to be able to play this new expansion and really start to get excited. This new patch, and start to get excited about the expansion. And honestly, I mean, I was being serious at the beginning. I'm saying it in a joking way, but in the beginning, I was talking about, I think this will drive lots of players, probably including myself. I haven't pre-ordered the expansion, but after playing this, I'll give it another day or two, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be all in on Reaper of Souls. Excited about playing the Crusader class, and frankly, just about seeing some a new act, some new campaign story to play through, which is what was originally so amazing to me about Diablo 3. Despite some of the other issues that they had early on, and even to this day, I've enjoyed just playing through the acts and seeing this world they've created and the enemies and situations that they put you in. Okay, so this has been M-Dog on M-Dog Gaming. I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter, and check me out on Twitch. We've been streaming more lately, a lot of Lord of the Rings Online and probably some Diablo 3 today. So check it all out. MDog Gaming pretty much across all of those social media elements. But as always, I really appreciate you watching. And until next time, this has been Diablo 3 post-patch pre-expansion.